Alright, so I finally watched Scooby-Doo and Krypto 2. Now, before I get into this film, I've got to talk about, the story behind this film. So, this film was one of many, many projects that was fully complete, but Warner Brothers shelved and decided not to release in order to basically get a tax refund, essentially, from it. So, yeah, this film you cannot officially see anywhere. It will not get a DVD release. It will not show up on any streaming or digital download service. So, basically, the only way you're able to see this is thanks to it being leaked online. Now, I was able to get it from the Internet Archive. That is the best quality I've found it in. But there are other websites that do have it. So I'm not going to put any links or anything. And also the reason why I'm showing this, poor mock-up, which is not how the characters look in the film at all, is because if I do show any screenshots or anything from the actual film itself, Warner Brothers will just take the video down and give me a copyright strike, because that's exactly what they did before. So, yeah, and that was just talking about leaked screenshots of the film. That was before it was confirmed to be shelved or anything, so, yeah, just word of advice there. But anyway, so this film was meant to come out, as far as I'm aware, after Scooby-Doo meets Courage the Cowardly Dog, but before Trick or Treat Scooby-Doo. So basically, it was meant to be a Q1, Q2 of 2022 release, and this was also going to be the last in the previous style of animation to be released. So, yeah, but this film is fully complete. This film is fully complete. So, yeah, it's not like, for example, with the Popeye movie leak or anything else where, it's mostly complete. No, this is 100% complete. So, yeah. But anyway, I'm going to just review this film in the same way that, or talk about this film in the same way I talk about any of the other direct-to-video Scooby-Doo films. And I've got to say, I did enjoy this one a lot more. It's definitely better than Trick or Treat Scooby-Doo. Though I will say, and I did notice this a lot, I think one of the biggest problems in the modern direct-to-video Scooby-Doo films is basically that they just skimp on the mystery part, like, a lot. They'll do the thing of basically either making the mystery pretty much non-existent, or they'll just kind of pull a load of things that don't make sense, out of context, and then just magically, oh, this evidence that we didn't know about suddenly happens. But with this one, I mean, for the most part, you can kind of guess the plot of what's going to happen and where it is, but there were at least, I guess, a couple of things in there that were a slight surprise. But yeah, this film is obviously another crossover into the DC universe, and in this film, they do actually, acknowledge meeting Batman before. So yeah, which version of Batman? Don't know. I'm guessing it's probably going to be the Brave and the Bold version, since, in that's the only other one in the same art style within this continuity, I guess. Maybe, maybe not, I don't know. But they do acknowledge that in this film, although Batman himself never actually appears in the film. But yeah, speaking of the crossover aspect, Krypto doesn't show up until 25 minutes in. Yeah, 25 minutes in to this hour and 18-minute movie, an hour and 18 exactly minute movie. Yeah, he doesn't show up until 25 minutes in, and the first sort of 25 minutes of this film feel like filler, because they kind of are. but at least it's like entertaining filler. Basically, the first bit, 25 minutes of this film, the gang are basically driving around Metropolis because they've been summoned there by Jimmy Olsen, and they run into Zod, they run into the Joker, and they run into Solomon Grundy, as well as some other villains. And yeah, it's basically just a villain showcase, but it's an entertaining enough villain showcase. Although I think they went a little bit too overboard in how many they just show up, but at least it's entertaining enough. I'll give it that. And despite the Krypto on this one being from the Krypto the Dog children's TV show, the Krypto in this one does not speak. It's the classic, more of a classic Krypto who, is obviously intelligent on that, but is unable to speak, which, I was wondering whether he was going to be able to speak in this or not, but he doesn't. And I'm kind of glad that he doesn't, since it meant, they were able to make him a lot more expressive. At times, the animation in this does press its limits on that and does push more boundaries, so I was happy in terms of regards and that. Lex Luthor isn't just like a walk-on sort of cameo thing. He is in it throughout this, and I guess you could sort of call him a villain in this. I mean, villain. Yeah. But the whole sort of mystery about this one, again, I'm going to try and be as spoiler-free as possible, although I guess it doesn't really matter as much with this one, since it's a one that a lot of people probably will not see unless you're going to pirate it, with the download links. But yeah, basically the story is the Justice League suddenly go missing one day, so where Lois Lane gets Jimmy Olsen to call up Daphne because Jimmy thinks that Daphne is his girlfriend because they went to camp together when they were 9 once. Yeah, it's pretty odd, that. I'd say that's another thing I don't like about the Bond films, is that some of the jokes in this are just really don't land at all. Like, I don't know if I would have found it funnier when I was a kid. I doubt it. But, just, I don't know, it just seems a lot of the times it feels like it's aiming for a toddler audience rather than, a more, I wasn't going to say grown up, I would say, 7-year-old upwards audience, I guess, which is what it used to be aimed at. But, it's just one of those things. I did enjoy this film, and I would say the Courage, Scooby-Doo meets Courage the Cowardly Dog Straight Out of Nowhere film was better than this one, but not by much. I'd say it was probably around about the same level, but I'd say Courage edges it slightly. It does edge it slightly on this one, but to be honest, it's just kind of like, I enjoyed it enough. I don't really have a lot to say about it. I think it's one of those films where I wouldn't go back to it in a hurry, but I wouldn't mind going back to it. It's not one I would actively avoid, but it's also one of those ones where I am starting to forget it, even though I've literally just finished watching it. So, yeah, it has that. It has that going for it. But, yeah, there's obviously the issue of this was shelved, and the fact is, like, if we ignore the obvious, and I'm not going to mention that show, but, like, you released Trick or Treat, Scooby-Doo. You released that, yet you shelved this. And to be honest, this would have probably made more money than that. I mean, you've got... What the hell was that noise? You've got, Krypto the Super Dog, and that, it's also... which also makes it, a DC crossover and that. And you've got these DC and that villains and that in there. I would have thought out of the two films, this one would be the one that you showed, and the other one would have been the one you shelved if you were going to shelve one. But, that's expecting, Warner Brothers to make some sensible decisions, which at the minute they're not, because, they're saving a few million but losing billions. That's just the way it goes. I mean, seriously, and also the Scooby-Doo films as well, the Scooby-Doo direct-to-video films. I don't understand the mentality against shelving those, and projects that are in the early or unfinished stages, then I can sort of understand. But this is a fully finished film. This is a fully finished film, and it's a Scooby-Doo direct-to-video film. I mean, it's not going to make the tens of millions of dollars that, your big budget films may make, but, they've been going now for over 2 decades, so, why won't this one make its money back and then some? But, yeah, is that a sign of maybe they're not making the money that they used to? Possibly. I know the quality has definitely gone down a lot, mainly in the writing department. But, yeah, overall, if you can still find this film online, which you can. But, for how long? Don't know, because I know Warner Brothers are trying to scrub the internet of it. But, yeah, I'd highly recommend. I would highly recommend you check this out. Just to, see it and to show that, yeah, people did actually want to see this. So, yeah.